We're a high acuity, very complex hospital hidden behind a Winn-Dixie in Hudson, Florida. So we looked like that before with our unassuming entrance, and now we'll really look like the complex medical center that we are.
Florida is a really critical market for HCA. They've got facilities all across the state, and this project is in the Tampa Bay area, in one of the fastest growing communities in the state in Hudson, Florida. HCA has a presence there at Bayonet Point Hospital, and we are expanding that facility by roughly 100,000 square feet with a 3-story patient tower that adds roughly 100 beds to the facility. The critical piece of this new addition is a new inpatient rehab unit that'll bring that type of service to Pasco County, where Bayonet Point is located, that really doesn't exist there right now.
So it's a real niche kind of boutique service that had previously been in the community. There was just over 20 beds in the community up until I think late last year, and now that's down to 9. So the community has a big gap for acute rehab. So when this tower opens, when the rehab unit opens, we're going to have, I think, 30 beds to market on day one.
We knew this project was unique in terms of the approach and schedule when we were awarded the project, but one of the eye-openers for us was that, we were awarded the project, and then 3 days later we were asked to be on the job site, to meet contractors, and that's typically not our process. It was only then that we realized how seemingly impossible the design and construction schedule really was, that everything had to be completed within 16 months in order to meet a critical licensure date to open this new rehab unit. This meant that by the time the construction documents were issued, Layton would have to have procured an enormous amount of the equipment and materials needed to build this job. We all realized that the only way this could happen would be through an unprecedented amount of coordination with both the design and construction teams working together as one. On other projects in the past, we give a lot of lip service to talking about working as one, but it never really seems to happen. But to succeed on this project, we truly needed to partner with Layton and the trade partners from day one in order to get ahead of the challenges that were before us.
From the planning package, there were different options that we reviewed, one being a standalone building and one being a connected building. Both were separated significantly from the existing hospital. So from early on in schematic design, we took a second look at the project. The initial design from the planning package was in a long rectangular bar shape. So when we reevaluated, we looked at the existing site and thought through maybe we could change around the lobby space, create a new entry for the hospital, bring our addition a lot closer to the existing hospital, make it a real connection. By creating an L shape, we were able to keep the existing parking areas. We were able to use some of the existing drive for our building location and maintain and keep existing retainage areas. We are within a storm surge. So we had to design around a Category 3 storm surge, which we tackled by raising the building up above 3 feet above the existing finished floor elevation. We created a ballast slab foundation system, all of that being waterproof and any entry point having flood barriers to tackle a storm surge event.
By doing that and designing an entire tower in 4 months, we knew we'd have critical deadlines that we needed to meet. And having early conversations with the contracting team and working with trade partners all the way through design was the only way to really meet that deadline.
At the kickoff, everything really became apparent. We sat as a team, all the trade partners, the design team, HCA. We knew at that time that this job was going to be unique in a procurement and design process where there was no way to achieve these goals without having some kind of integrated approach.
We looked at the design, we looked at the most efficient way that we could build this, which included prefab panels. Prefab panels could be built very quickly off-site while the site work was being done so that when the building was ready for them, prefab panels could just be put in place. The choice to use prefab panels was very deliberate and it was helpful to drying the building very quickly.
The key was get the walls up, then we can get a roof on. And if we can get the flat work done on the roof, we're basically dried in. And then they can slow down and detail it in a more leisurely pace if we're dry inside. We had our windows infilled, so we're not getting blowing rain in, and that lets us turn loose interior drywall earlier in the process.
Early on, HCA tasked us to make procurement a non-issue, so we went out, we found a warehouse, with HCA support, we were able to pull that in, 8,000 square foot. Say we had about a 12,000 square foot lot, and it's opened up all kinds of opportunities for prefab. Harper's gotten in there and really gotten creative with some of the stuff they've got to do and tried a few things they've wanted to try before.
Between us and Harper, we used that facility to be able to prefab in-wall plumbing. So we worked together with the drywall contractor, Walmart, to come in, build sections of wall with a crew of plumbers in there. They would install that in-wall plumbing. So all the bathroom walls that have anything in them came to the site as an assembly. They were just stood up. They just had to be topped out to be installed correctly.
At the kickoff meeting in June of last year, HCA did off with the words team, T-E-A-M. Together, everybody accomplishes more. And that's exactly what's transpired to date. It's exactly what transpired through the design and EDI process. Everybody committed to milestone dates. Everybody committed to procurement that dovetailed us into a construction start with prefabrication. Every date that we said we would hit, we hit. Every procurement date was established. Every prefabrication start date established with racks, with walls, with electrical rooms. Everything was to the T. It really started at the time of the kickoff that we all locked arms and decided we're in this challenge, we're in this together, and we're going to accomplish this goal.
When I first got this job at this hospital, I didn't realize how complex, how busy, how bustling this hospital was, especially when you drive up. Just looked small. It looked, and again, you don't realize it till you're in it, how really complex and large this hospital is, just from an operational standpoint. But when we got word that the tower was funded, it really kind of lit a fire. We're gonna look as big as we are, The design of something this large, the coordination, which you guys have been integral in, the challenges we've faced in getting it done, is it gonna be 2 buildings, is it gonna be 1 building? The whole scale of it, scope of it, has been humbling, but very, very exciting to be a part of.